Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are continuing with the topic that speaks about how to improve your life, and become a better person. And today I want to start by saying if you want to improve your life, particularly as a young man, you need not to make excuses. Don't make excuses in life. Because many times what delays us in life is making excuses about everything that we do. Everything that we touch and do, we have got an excuse for it. Everything that we didn't do and we cannot do, we have got an excuse for it. And that is why most of the time, even when you've done a mistake, when you give an excuse for that mistake, you'll never improve that. You'll never make sure that you correct that mistake because you would have actually made an excuse about that. Now, it is very important that every time you've done a mistake, whatever you've done, take responsibility of that and make sure that you are accountable, you are responsible, and you're not going to make excuses about it. Because excuses delays, and excuses also what they do, they actually make people not to take responsibility. Now, as a young man, I want to urge you that if you're going to improve your life, learn not to make excuses about anything. So please take responsibility and point at yourself in everything that you do, and you'll realize that when you start to take responsibility and accountability of everything that you do, you're going to be able to work on yourself and make sure that your life gets improved. You're going to actually look at measures of how best can I do this next time. And next time when you do it, then you do it much more better because you are faced up with a challenge of saying, I want to improve. I want to become better. I want to do things better than I used to do them. Because when you make excuses, then you will stick to those excuses and you'll shift the responsibility to others. And for sure, when you remove the responsibility and shift it to somebody else, you're not going to be able to correct that. And that's very, very important. So I want to urge you, as a young man, if you have to improve your life, that please never make excuses at all. Now, secondly, I want to also emphasize that stop procrastinating because many times we delay our own lives because of procrastination. And procrastination becomes, therefore, the biggest enemy of young people, whereby they promote delaying tactics and everything that they do, they make excuse about that. And most of the time, then we sit back and we put excuses before us and postpone measures of what we want to do and make actual postponement of plans that we want to do. And most of the time you'll realize that we will sit and not do things and say we'll do them next time. And the fact that you're going to say you're going to do them next time, you're basically delaying yourself. And I'm mentioning this because most of us have actually delayed ourselves in everything that we do. And as a young man, I want to urge you that we should actually learn to take responsibility and for sure never procrastinate. Procrastination many times is actually whereby you postpone things and you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. And sometimes I'll do it next week. And we have actually postponed it many times where we will say we'll do next year. And that is the reason why many people have actually delayed doing things or embarking on things. And sometimes you want to enroll to studies and become a better person. But we found ourselves delaying because we're forever postponing. Now, procrastination is actually a state of mind that is full of postponement. That is full of excuses of not doing now, of postponing to do it tomorrow. And that delays many, many young people. And I want to urge you as a young man that whatever you decide on, please implement it now. Don't ever postpone and wait for tomorrow because tomorrow may not come as well. And this is very important. And every time that you have got dreams and goals that you want to set up, please look at prioritizing short-term goals more than anything else. Because when you put it short-term, it is going to push you to start making sure that you deliver to the promise that you've set for yourself, to the goals that you've set for yourself. And many times we postpone because we think that we don't have resources. And I want to urge you as a young man to remember that not every project needs resources. Not every project needs finances, because many times we'll tell ourselves we don't have finances, we don't have money to start the project. But when you look at it, you'll realize that majority of the projects don't actually need money in the beginning. It needs your planning. It needs your self-involvement. It needs your own hands to become your own resources to start with. so that you can actually move further to develop yourself into a better person. And that project, if you focus on it, it will actually be delivered. So it is very important, therefore, that you don't procrastinate in anything that you do, but you put things ahead and make sure that every plan that you put, you'd start implementing it immediately. Now, the other thing that I want to speak about today, as we speak about improving yourself or your life, is review your finances, because it's very important that we look at this. Many of us as young men, we actually willy-nilly use finances in wrong ways, and sometimes we spend finances in wrong ways, and we end up ourselves being in debts. Sometimes we end up actually drowning in debts to an extent that you cannot do anything anymore. And you cannot plan anything anymore because the finances are just actually going into the drain. Are you earning enough? Yes, you're earning enough. But the plan for your finances is not appropriate. And that is why many times we're spending our money with things that are not very important, with things that are not going to be benefiting us. And I want to emphasize that prioritize using your money as a young man in things that will bring money, in things that will increase your potential of becoming better financially. So therefore, don't actually dwell on debts and don't actually spend your money on debts only, but make sure that even if you have got debts, it must be debts that are progressive. It must be debts or maybe loans that will actually generate more money, that will make you to actually invest into a business maybe, and make sure that it generates more money. Because if it's money that doesn't bring money in, but it actually drowns you into debts, so please avoid that as a young man. Because majority of us as young men, we are actually spending our monies inappropriately. And therefore, then we blame salaries, we're not earning enough, we are poor, and so on. But when you realize is we're having enough money coming into our hands, but yet we don't use that money appropriately. I want to say further that if you want to improve your life as a young man, focus on the positive at all times. Because there are times when we focus on negatives and everything that we do, we think that this cannot happen because it is me. This cannot happen because of the history that I'm coming from. This I cannot do because in our family, we cannot do this. In our family, nobody has done this before. And therefore, that negativity, it is actually stopping us or stalling you from progressing. And many times, as a young man, you'll realize that your life cannot improve because you've always looked at the negative. You always looked at the failure rather than the success. You have always looked at the possibilities of failing instead of looking at the possibilities of success in everything that you do. And sometimes because of the negativity that we have in mind, the frame of mind or state of mind that you're in, if it's negative, it's going to produce negative results. But I want to emphasize that when you start to implement things positively in your mind will determine the energy that you have in making sure that you implement the things that you need to implement. That becomes very important because many times we always fail because we have actually had a wrong mindset. We have got a negative mindset. And a negative mindset cannot produce positive results at all. And therefore, it's very important that we emphasize that as a young man, always focus on the positive. Make sure that you drive every project to look at the positive. Look at the possibilities of success than failure. And look at the possibility of your strength, not your weaknesses. As a young man, make sure that you believe in yourself. And you believe that things will happen because you have having a potential of being successful. It is not because things have not happened before that it will remain that way. And I want to emphasize to you as a young man that sometimes things might be the first time that you do them. They've never happened before, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will not happen. So take it positively. Make sure that as a young man, you focus on the positives in your life. And as much as you focus on the positive, things will start rolling on and happening. And I want to emphasize that because it's very important. Your positive mindset is very key in this regard. I want to end up here today, your host, Micornus, Phokane, leader and founder of Young Men Empowerment Forum. Thank you very much for listening to us. I want to urge you to look at our social media platforms as well. Please, our Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum, and our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane. Please like those and also click notification buttons. Make sure that you also visit our YouTube channel under Micornus Phokane and make sure that you click notification button right there. And the Lord will bless you as you follow us. We will continue with this topic tomorrow. please join us once more as we deal with the next session of this topic. May the good Lord bless you. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.